Virgo, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique, bringing you your October energy forecast. I am going to recommend that you jump over to my YouTube, that you listen to October's energy intro, and that you subscribe to the playlist because I get a lot more time to go in depth to cover all of the details of each of these energy shifts and how it's actually going to be affecting us moving through the very transformative month of October. Jumping into October, of course, we are in Libra season. I feel bad for my Virgo friends because y'all had your birthday, y'all tried to bring new things to life, and then bam, Mercury, your ruler, went retrograde, really kind of putting the pause on all the new ideas and all the new things you wanted to create in your new natal year. Well, good news is that October 2nd, Mercury will be going direct in your sign at 24 degrees. So of course, this is illuminating your first house of self. This rewinds us back to the end of August, whatever it is that you were looking to bring to life, whatever it is you were looking to initiate and create, we are now going to be able to revisit and actually do something with it. Mercury being direct in your sign means that your mental plane will clear up just a tad. We do have an opposition with Neptune that will kind of foggy up the mental plane for a couple more days, but you will be honestly a little bit more clear and confident with the way that you're able to speak. Many of my Virgo friends just have fumbling words come out of their mouth while Mercury is retrograde. It's been very hard tapping into the intellect, and I know that Virgos in particular will be very, very happy to feel a little bit more like their logical, practical selves when Mercury actually goes direct. On the 8th, we have Pluto, the great transformer, going direct in Capricorn after being retrograde for 5 months. Pluto likes to illuminate where it is that we've had pain and trauma and suffering in our lives, and likes to show us where it is that we've accumulated those particular wounds because of the power that we gave away to other people. Pluto going direct means we get to kind of take what it is we've realized over the past 5 months, and we get to make moves in our physical realm to rearrange what it is that we need to take control of, where it is we need to take our power back, where it is that we need to create new systems, new foundations to actually free ourselves from needing to rely on other people. Now, Pluto going direct is illuminating the 5th house for you, the heart chakra. And of course, my Virgo friends have been struggling with a lot of the healing due to a lot of the pain and trauma from your upbringing in this 5th house of your heart chakra since 2008. And Pluto going direct now is really trying to open up that heart chakra and actually motivate you and inspire you using some of the pain and trauma from your past to push yourself to do better, to open up, to really connect with other people, to be raw and vulnerable, recognizing that as a strength, to get you in touch with your emotions, to unleash a new level of creativity, and mostly to bring back that very playful energy that has gotten very serious and very removed from life over the last little bit. On the 9th, we have our full moon taking place in Aries energy at 16 degrees. This is happening very close to Chiron, who was retrograde in Aries energy, really opening up some wounds, really awakening a lot of the pain and trauma that we have been kind of stuffing down and repressing, especially where it comes to our ego, our identity, our power, our control over our lives, and where it is that we maybe have not been as successful as we were hoping to be in the pursuit of our happiness and in pursuit of bringing some of our dreams to life. Now, the full moon in Aries is going to be very heated. We are going to see a lot of anger, a lot of frustration bubble up. We are halfway through the astrological calendar at this point, so we are reflecting back of all of the things that have transpired since the spring and just kind of seeing where it is that we have felt a little bit disappointed with the amount of effort and energy that we've been able to actually pour in to bringing new elements, new topics and themes to life. The full moon in Aries will be highlighting your 8th house of death, rebirth, resurrection, and transformation. We do have to kind kind of dabble in the shadow realm of our thoughts, of our emotions, really take a look at what it is that we've been obsessive about, what it is that we've been holding on to as far as past pain and past trauma goes. We do have to free ourselves up from that mental and emotional baggage in order for us to renew our spirit, to redefine who it is that we are, and to redirect ourselves into the path that will kind of help us reach our new mission, our new purpose. On October 10th, we have Mercury, your ruler, moving into Libran energy. So this took place in the very early weeks of September. So we still are very much reflecting back to that particular time as we retrace our steps until Mercury is up to its fullest speed on the 17th. Now, Mercury moving into Libra means that we are able to kind of bring a little bit of balance back to the mental plane, that we are able to kind of communicate and express ourselves in a way that would be suggesting that we are looking to reconcile and repair a lot of the relationships that may have taken a hit over the retrograde period. Now, Mercury going into Libran energy is when we're going to feel lighter. And although we would expect when Mercury first goes direct in your sign to have that clarity that we were looking for, we're actually not going to gain that clarity until Mercury moves into Libra. This will be illuminating your second house, and your second house is all about what it is we need to build, what it is we need to bring to life, what it is we have to give birth to as far as our routines are concerned, where new skills and talents are concerned, where new money matters are concerned, and relationships are concerned as well. The second house basically is taking all the ideas that you've been unable to bring to life since your birthday, and we actually get to roll up our sleeves and actually create a space where we are going to start seeing the initiation of a brand new idea actually come into fruition. On the 23rd, we have a pretty major day. There are 3 different energy shifts taking place here on the 23rd, starting with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, going direct in Aquarius. This is going to be shining a bright light on your 6th house that Virgo naturally rules over. The 6th house is your day-to-day life. It's the tasks and chores that you run through. It's the mental state of what it is that you're focusing on as you move throughout your day. It is the health and wellness sector where new routines, new disciplines need to be initiated in order to take care of yourself. It is where it is that things need to be reorganized and restructured in your life to make sure that you're not pouring into being of service to other people more than you're pouring into being of service to yourself. Saturn, having been retrograde for the past 5 months in Aquarian energy, should have shown us where it is that we've been a little bit more giving with our time, our energy, our love, and attention to other people to better their lives instead of focusing on our own. This particular energy is going to help us build new systems, routines, and structures in order to balance the scales between honoring what it is that we need to do for our own happiness, our own health and wellness, and what it is that we need to do to help the health and wellness of other people. That Aquarian energy is really sitting across from the Leo energy, and the Leo energy needs us to get back to the heart and soul of what we're excited about, what brings us happiness, what brings us joy, and actually follow through with bringing some of those elements to life instead of putting that on the back burner to do what we think other people want us to do or what we think other people are expecting us to do. Just hours later, still on the 23rd, we have Venus and the Sun moving into Scorpio energy, kicking off Scorpio season. Now, Venus is in Scorpio to kind of do a deep dive in her worth issues, in her confidence, in her self-esteem. She's looking to unearth some truths about what it is that she's been really denying herself when it comes to true passions and true desires. She's definitely looking to do a deep dive to emotionally transform the darkness into light, the pain into power, and really get in alignment with what it is that her heart and soul is craving for her to actually pursue. The Sun is shining a bright light on what it is that we have to do emotionally to kind of drop the emotional baggage that is constantly blocking us and getting in the way of us actually going after what it is that we want in life, what it is that we're passionate about, what it is that we truly desire. The Scorpio energy will be illuminating the 3rd house that Mercury, your ruler, naturally rules over. And this is going to have a huge impact on your mental narrative, on the way that you are looking at certain situations that have already taken place, and on the way that you are going to be communicating and expressing yourself. Keep in mind that Scorpio is a water sign. It's very emotional, it's very intuitive. And although you would rather just kind of keep busy and ignore your emotions altogether, and definitely avoid conversations where you have to be a little bit vulnerable and express yourself, you are honestly not going to be able to run from these particular situations, because these particular situations need to be cleaned up and cleared up before you're going to be able to move forward and actually bring new elements, new ideas to life. We have the new moon solar eclipse taking place at 2 degrees in Scorpio on October 25th. This as well, Scorpio energy, is in the 3rd house for you. So what's interesting is that we started this particular life lesson back in the fall of 2021, where we are on this Taurus and Scorpio axis, this give and take, this death and rebirth of worth, of values, of talents, of skills, of passions, of desires. And we are now at a state where we are going to be receiving a little bit of help, a little bit of rewards, a little bit of blessings from the cosmos, from the universe, for the pain, for the trauma, for the struggle that we've had to go through, especially where some tough love life lessons are concerned. Things likely got a little bit crazy where some major transformations were taking place back in the fall of 2021. And then, of course, in May of 2022, we likely seen a lot of the things that we were trying to make happen fall apart. We had to kind of take a good look at what it is that we had to let go of and get out of the way of in order to create the space for new ideas to be born. The fact that this is a 2 degrees means that we are wrapping up a 2.5-year cycle of where it is that we've been struggling with some pain, some trauma, some unconscious blocks that are preventing us from actually moving forward. And at a 2 degree, we are starting a brand new chapter that will last us for the next 2.5 years. So this is time for your mental plane to kind of go through and reprocess some of the situations that you've been avoiding, some of the situations that you've been running away from in the mental plane, because the mental plane, the intellect, needs to go through the emotions that you've been denying yourself in order to actually clean the slate to be able to move on. Now, what we're clearing out is a lot of junk, a lot of shadow elements, a lot of fears and doubts and insecurities, self-worth issues that have been blocking us from actually aligning with what we're passionate about and what it is that we truly desire. This will likely be in the arena of profession and in relationships. On the 28th, we have Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, beliefs and blessings, still retrograde, but moving back into Pisces energy. So we spent the majority of 2021 with Jupiter in Pisces, showing us where it is that we need to, grow and improve and change the belief system that we have within ourselves and what is possible, where it is that we had to tap into our spiritual selves, where it is that we had to really align with a new vision, a new dream for ourselves. It was a very, very tough time, seeing that, the Pisces energy definitely wants to help heal us from past pain and trauma in order to bring cycles, especially soul contracts, full circle, so that we can move on and we can actually use those situations for growth. Jupiter moved into Aries energy in the spring. And in the spring, we really got going. We tried to bring new things to life. We tried to reinvent ourselves. We tried to, really push and aggress our way through some of the blocks, some of the restrictions, some of the obstacles that we were faced just for the sake of movement. Now, we didn't necessarily heal those particular aspects the way that we should have healed back in 2021. And then Jupiter went retrograde in Aries. And then we've been kind of moving inward to see where it is that, we still have to work on some things, where we still need a little bit of growth, a little bit of improvement in our identity and what it is that we actually think is possible. So dipping back into Pisces energy is going to refresh us basically on what it is that we went through in 2021, realign us with our higher selves, reconnect us with our soul and our spirit, and basically refresh ourselves on what it is that we're passionate about, what it is that we want to kind of pursue from here, what it is that we're dreaming about, so that when Jupiter goes direct again, we're going to have a plan, a strategy put into place so that our redo is actually more successful, more productive, and we accomplish a lot more than what it is that we set out to do early in the spring. Jupiter going retrograde in Pisces is illuminating the 7th house for you. Now, keep in mind, Pisces energy is your polar opposite energy, which means that you're always uncomfortable. There's always a pressure when Pisces energy is activated. And in the 7th house, there's a huge focus on personal relationships, on how it is that you're sharing yourself with the people that you love and where it is that you're sharing your life with other people. This is also about energy management and where it is that maybe you give too much of your energy away to other people instead of reserving enough energy to make sure that you're happy and healthy before you go ahead and start helping other people. So Jupiter kind of moving back into this Pisces energy is going to have you readdressing some of the shadow elements, some of the wounds, some of the pain, some of the trauma that you thought you had healed in a relationship aspect that maybe needs to come up again in order for a full ending, a full closure to be put to this so that you can be free to actually move on. This will be a rebalancing of energy, I'm going to say, examination of some of the events that have taken place in the past that, have wounded you in a certain way, because now that you've had a little bit more time and experience, you may actually see that things happened in a different way than the way that you thought that they did. So this will add to the spiritual growth and the perspective changing understanding that Jupiter is here to teach us. On the 29th, we have Mercury, your ruler, entering into Scorpio waters as well. Again, adding the influence and focus to this 3rd house. Now, Mercury being the ruler of the intellect and Scorpio basically ruling over our emotions and our intuition, this is going to give us the best of both worlds. We're going to be able to blend our intellect with our intuition and definitely kind of uncover some hidden truths. First of all, about ourselves. Second of all, about other people. Third of all, about some situations that we've been confused about, especially since Mercury went retrograde. Having this particular emphasis on your 3rd house definitely does mean that we are going to be sorting out the pros and cons, the highs and lows, the truth versus the lies and delusions of what it is that your mental narrative, your inner dialogue has been telling you. There is this element of illuminating to the shadow elements, the lies, the delusions that we tell ourselves that are blocking us from truly aligning with new ideas, with expressing ourselves fully and actually being able to go after what it is that we're passionate about. This is going to be a Control-Alt-Delete situation in the mental plane where you get to kind of defrag some of the ideas, some of the thoughts, some of the narratives that are no longer serving you, and of course, create a space where new understandings and perspectives and narratives can be formed in order to align you with a new idea that you actually want to bring to life. Lastly, on the 30th, we have Mars going retrograde in Gemini energy. Now, Mars rules over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, but also our anger. And because Mars is used to taking this energy and kind of aggressing himself, taking action in our external realm, this retrograde is going to mean that we are internalizing this energy, which is going to frustrate the hell out of us. In Gemini energy, this means that there's a lot of time to sit and really debate choices and decisions and paths and directions and really kind of examine our fears and our phobias and the inner narrative that we tell ourselves. And this is highlighting the 10th house for you, which is karma. It's also career and roles and responsibilities and finances. So we may find a little bit of frustration arise, especially between the choices that I feel most of my Virgo friends have been debating between, which is, do I stick with a job that is comfortable, that I'm familiar with, that has provided me with financial safety, security, and stability, or do I abandon this job to go out and actually create a little bit of excitement in my life where a change is needed so that I can expand on my skills and hopefully better my finances and really just kind of spice things up a bit. So you're definitely going to be torn between the two. You're going to see most of this anger and frustration of not being able to decide what is the best move for you and not be able to actually take action on it until Mars goes direct. Mars will be in Gemini energy carrying us into 2023. And once he goes direct, we are going to have a lot more clarity. We are going to have a lot more of a mission, a purpose that we have to go after in order to actually get what it is that we want. But we will be turning this anger, this frustration into inspiration and motivation when Mars goes direct. So some of the messages that I'd like to pass on for you to focus on as you move throughout the month of October, the very first thing that they're talking about is just trying to find peace and harmony within your heart and your head, for you to find a quiet space within yourself to really kind of figure out what it is that you want to do from here. I feel like there are a lot of options on your plate right now, almost too many options. I feel like if you could narrow down some of the choices, decisions, options available to you, it would kind of help you to figure out what it is that you're actually aligned with and what it is that you're excited about and passionate about. But a lot of this has to do with the fact that you feel like you've outgrown a lot of situations, a lot of tasks, a lot of chores, a lot of titles, a lot of friendships and relationships in your life. And there is this awkward sense of having kind of the urgency to move on, but yet not really know what you're moving on to. Again, because we've been in a retrograde and because we are moving through a very transformative month, it will take a little bit of time in order to be thinking clearly and listening to your heart space just as equally as you're listening to your intellect. But I'm going to say the common goal, the common question that you have to be asking yourself as you move throughout the month of October is what it is you actually want to do from here. Yes, it's great to look back on what it is that you've done and how it is that you've gotten to this point, but this point is leaving a lot to be desired. Therefore, you have to figure out what it is that you want to do from here. And I don't know that you should base your options solely on finances and solely on your skill set. It is time for you to kind of let your heart lead a little bit and kind of see what is exciting to you, what you're passionate about, and what it is that you truly desire for yourself. I feel like mid-month, especially once Mercury, your ruler, moves into Libran energy, you're definitely going to see a lot of things come full circle. Things are going to be making a lot more sense. You're going to have the answers to a lot of the questions that you've been torn about. You're going to receive a lot of insight, a lot of information and details that's going to help inform the decisions that you still have left to make. And because of that, I feel like there is an element of celebrating being able to choose, to commit to actually redefine what it is that you want to do in moving forward. I feel like the biggest message that I could kind of leave you with is to trust your gut, to trust your instincts, to trust your intuition. I know that you're someone that would prefer to rely upon intellect and logic and practicality, but there is a lot more to life than just basing your choices off of the data and statistics of the present moment. There's a lot of karma, a lot of wild card energy coming at us through the month of October, which means that as long as you are able to visualize the kind of reality that you want for yourself without limiting yourself to the circumstances that your current situation could dictate for you, to open yourself up to the magic of the cosmos and the universe, you would be shocked at what is able to fall on your doorstep as far as opportunities go. So there is this want, need, and desire for you to really lean into your intuition and to trust the cosmos, to trust the universe, and to just open your mind and your heart space to the possibilities of what could come if you didn't limit yourself based off of the current circumstances that you're currently living. So that's all that I have for you for the month of October, Virgo. I hope you have a beautiful month, and we'll talk to you soon.